We back. Them Brothers from Inglewood podcast once again, coming to you live and direct. I'm Hoopie, your host. My co-host Charley Mack is not with us at the moment, but he'll be sharing at a later time. And I just want to say thank you for viewing this content on this platform. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. We appreciate everything. And hey, get the word out. Let them know that we'll be coming to you every Tuesday, Friday, and we'll do a live somewhere in the middle of each week. My brother has really been excited about those lives, and his suggestion has been, so positive in us, bringing that to you. So we're having fun with it, and we just want you to know that we appreciate everything that you're doing and communicating this content to other people. Before I introduce the topic, I want to say thanks to the Coalesce Group, everything that you're doing in the educational community, helping our young people across America and even those that live abroad. Thank you for that component, the academic curriculum that you are providing and the exposure that you're bringing to our youth across the globe. And so we want to say thank you for allowing us to partner with you. And this marriage has been wonderful, and we're looking for greater things in the future. Thanks to Fruit Off the Vine Clothing Apparel for women and young girls. We thank you for allowing us to share this platform as well as partner with you in that endeavor. You're dressing America, you're dressing young people, inspiring them to embrace their level of confidence, and all of the things that you're doing, fitting them and causing them to look at themselves in a more positive way. Thank you so much for all that you're doing with that apparel line. Without further ado, I just want to say that it has been a pleasure coming to you consistently as we have, and your attentiveness and your response has been tremendous. We're adding some things to this platform so that we can get more interaction, that we can read your comments, and so that you will be more engaged more than you have been in the past. So bear with us. We're just trying to make this as comfortable and convenient for you as possible. Well, another exciting topic. I know that this is going to touch home because we're all experiencing something, and we can share this and encourage one another during the process. And so today I just want to introduce a subject that's titled Coping with Loss. Coping with loss. And we've all shared in this reality in some way or another, whether it was directly or indirectly. We've all been touched by some form of loss. And so before I really start to dissect this and get involved in the conversation, I just want to extend my condolences to a dear friend, Eric Williams, better known as E-Bone. He just lost his mother, amen, and we're praying for him. We're praying for the family. He is a childhood friend of mine, a dear brother, and we know that this is a tremendous loss for him and his brothers. We just, our heart goes out, and we know that Jeff also is dealing with it as an older brother, and so we're just praying for the family. We want you to know, E, that we're here to support, we're here to encourage. Whatever our hands find to do, we're willing to do. So know that you're not by yourself. We won't say that we understand and we know what you're going through, because we don't. Death and how we experience it and process it is totally different. So just know that our prayers are with you, and you're in our heart. The other thing is this. I just experienced loss. My grandmother went home to be with the Lord about a week ago, a little over a week ago. And we're going through that process of handling her affairs and the business part of it. And that's a separate experience in itself. We know and understand that death is the unknown. No one has, truly come back from this abyss and this reality to explain to us in detail what it's like, what the feeling is like, what the experience is like. And I know that there has been people who have been declared clinically dead and risen back to life or came back to life at minutes later. I don't know extensively how long or what the actual record is of being declared or being once declared clinically dead and then regaining life. I do know that it has happened because I have heard personal testimonies. I wasn't there, but it has been proven to be factual that many people have been declared clinically dead, placed in a morgue, sheet over them, and someone found them yet breathing, yet moving, and yet alive. So I do believe that there is a physical resurrection. There is a spiritual resurrection. A lot of people will, contest that, and a lot of people will, deny that. However, it has been clinically proven and documented that these were occurrences at some point in life. So, with that being said, my personal experience with loss it does not only stem from death, losing someone to death, losing a friend, a family member, but it has also been various things where I believe that I had to cope with that particular loss. I'm not spinning it a different way, but loss affects us all differently. I was an athlete growing up and well into college and things of that nature. And there was a lot of games that my team and I did not win. It was not a comfortable feeling. I never liked it. I never accepted it. But the reality was whoever had the most points at the end of the contest won the game. And so with me, there are no moral victories. Where I'm from, how I was cultivated and developed, we don't do moral victories. You either win or you lose. And so those were tough pills to swallow, but that's how I viewed it. A lot of people was like, well, you tried, you gave a gallant effort, it was a good game, it was close, and all of those things. But at the end of the day, you just don't want to be in the loser circle. You don't want to be second. You want to actually win. And so it may sound minute, but there was a lot of times that people, they handled loss like a champ. They smiled, they laughed, they giggled, they didn't worry about not having that victory. And some of us, we just couldn't understand how you can accept failure or loss. And I know that you put it in perspective. I know some of you are going to chime in and you're going to say, well, hey, you can't win everything, and there has to be a loser, and everyone of significance has lost at some point of their life, and that is true. And whether you want to accept what has been documented or not, that is the reality. You're not going to be able to change what took place and what has now been documented. So when I say you don't have to accept it, what I was really referring to is you don't have to have a defeatist attitude You don't have to be one who is used to losing, and it's okay to lose. You can't develop that attitude if you're going to win. You're going to lose, yeah, here and there, but you have to take losing in a way that motivates you to have a winner's mentality, a winner's attitude. And that's something that is a part of your spirit. That's your will. That's your heart. That's not just in your mind, but that is something within you that wants to continue to fight. So, coping with loss has variables, and there are variations to what we consider as loss. I go back to something that many of us can relate to, whether it's in death or whether it's in competition, through a game or a sport or otherwise competing for a promotion on your job. You have to be able to cope with loss. You're going to have to be able to deal with that reality. And so if my brother was here to chime in, I know good and well he would bring out some significant points about how we react, how we respond, how we deal with it moving forward. It's easy to smile when you're in the winner's circle. It's easy to smile when things are going right and things are well. You got money in the bank. You have good health. You have, a lot of things, that's accessible in your life. And it's always a good feeling when you look at it. But there are a lot of people who have material things. They have a lot of money. They have a lot of, I won't say friends, but they have a lot of associates. People call their name. People look for them. People cater to them. But they are very, very unhappy. Somewhere in their heart of hearts, they don't feel like a winner. They feel a great void in their life. They feel a loss in some shape, form, or fashion. And we've seen this over time. We've seen people that appear to be happy, appear to be successful, appear to have the world at its feet. But in actuality, they're depressed, they're sad, they're sick, they're just not experiencing life in a positive way. And eventually it comes out, it manifests, it shows how bad they were feeling, because some resort to drugs, alcohol, abusing drugs and alcohol. They resort to crime. They turn into a different personality, a different attitude, mentality. They are really affected by what's going on the inside of them. They're not coping with loss well. They're not managing it well. And I think, we can go a little bit deeper and to say that many of us at different times of our life, we needed intervention. We needed therapy. We needed someone to talk to. We needed someone to listen to us. We needed someone there. I was told many years ago that, some of the most miserable people are the ones that seem to be with not all, but a lot of the worldly possessions. They have a lot of toys. They have a lot of homes. They have a lot of activity in their lives. They're traveling all over the globe. They have access to just large amounts of money. They have just been afforded some of the luxuries of life, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that to make it sound like it's unfair. I don't believe earning or inheriting money and things is unfair. I just think it's It's a tribute to whomever thought ahead and said, I'm going to leave my great-grandchildren something. I'm going to leave my children something. I'm going to leave a legacy. I'm going to leave something for my family to take, and make the legacy stronger. Take the dream further. And so it's nothing wrong with that. But I think, when we're coping with loss, we have to look at it strategically and very seriously, because sometimes people, they handle loss in a very negative way. Look at President Trump. Look how he acted during the close of his tenure, of his serving as president. Look how he began to respond and what manifested in those coming months as he was supposed to exit the White House. And his term had come to an end, and he was still making it difficult because he didn't want to accept that there was a new president, there was a new vice president, there was a new administration that had to come in, not wanted to come in. They won the election. This is the changing of the guard. And we saw how pitiful and how arrogant and how selfish and just demonstrative he became, even the more, because he was already displaying a lot of unpleasant characteristics, and he was saying a lot of unsavory things. But how he responded to loss is an example of how some people process loss. But we have to cope with it. We have to get help. We have to get intervention. We have to get assistance. We have to get someone to be in front of. We got to get somebody in front of us. We have to get someone in our ear. We have to get someone that will help us cope and deal in that process. I want to get back to this. I want to say this. There are so many different things that I had to cope with, and I am coping with now with the help of accountability partners. I have a dear friend who has been a mentor to me for at least, I think, about 15 to 20 years. He has been in my life, and he has been a spiritual counselor as well as a friend. I mean, sometimes you just need a friend. You need a voice. You need a voice of reason. And so Elder Thomas Turner has helped me process many things and ordeals that I was faced with in life. And I'm thankful for that. I thank God that he placed someone in my life that I could lean on, that I could depend on. There's a few others. There's Malik Shai, who's on the East Coast, who has been a friend since childhood. We were young teenagers together growing up in the church, and how he was always this wise counsel to me. I think I'm maybe a month and a half older than him, which a month is not a whole lot, but I'm the big bro, and it's crazy because I learned so many significant lessons from this person. He had really poured into my life since I was a teenager. I felt like this guy is wise beyond his years, and so I leaned towards him, because another thing about Malik was he wasn't afraid to tell me the truth. He was not apprehensive about telling me whether I was right or whether I was wrong and what I should do. He didn't have a problem giving his opinion or making a suggestion. And he's that way today. He's the same person today. If I bellyache and I complain to him about anything, he'll hear me out, and then he'll give me his reasoning. And he'll tell me a lot of times it's basically, dude, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, be accountable for the part you played, and change that if that's out of order. That's just how he is. I mean, he loves me. He's not picking on me. He's just giving me the raw truth. That's how he is, and that has helped me over the years to cope with a lot of things that I lost in life. When I was going through with my brother's death, my youngest brother Christopher, when he transitioned and passed away, I was always close to all my brothers. My brother Charley Mack, of course, we're just 11 months apart, so we've shared in almost every experience you can think of as brothers. We've done everything, and I mean literally almost everything together. So when Pi went home to be with the Lord, I gravitated to Charley Mack even more because, number one, he's my brother, he's my older brother, and then number two, there was such a void in my life that only he could identify with, only he could recognize, only he could understand what that was like, because number one, we lost a little brother, and we were close enough to understand what moved us, what shook us, what affected us, and I needed that. And we still talk about Pi's absence to this day because he was a significant part of our life. So there are loved ones that you have lost, though there are friends that you've lost, but you have to find someone that you can relate to, identify with, someone that you can open up to and share, not in judgment, but someone that will be there for you, someone that will tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. But it helps us cope with the things that we're going through pertaining to loss. I can talk about, losing someone to death, for the rest of this show, and as can you. And I know that these are real significant things that impact us, man, for a lifetime. Someone told me, a minister a few years back, I heard this older gentleman say, he was wise counsel, and he said, listen, when we experience death, we get through it, but we never get over it. And I was like, wow, what is he actually, saying here? But what he was saying was, though you get better over time and you learn how to deal with it, you learn how to move on from it, it never leaves your psyche. You never forget about that significant person who was a part of your life. And it'll bring back memories of comfort, memories of celebration, memories of sadness, memories that you just experienced together. It's just something that is very difficult to get away from, to get out of your mind. And that helped me because you don't want to forget your loved ones, but you don't want to hurt anymore. You don't want to feel sad. You don't want to feel this void, this absence. You don't want to get to a place where you're not able to move on. And I believe that that's the coping part that we all have to get under wraps. We have to understand that these are things that we just have to learn how to endure. So coping with death, coping with the loss of a game, coping with missing out on a promotion, losing a job, losing losing data, information that was really important and significant. Sometimes we lose that data that's on the thumb drive. We lose the paperwork. It either gets destroyed or we lose it in storage. I mean, I can go on and on about loss, And I'm not promoting loss. I'm really saying that we need to learn how to cope with loss much better than we do. We need to learn how to find ways to manage and mend and reconstruct so that we can move forward in a positive way. We also need to get to a place where we're healthy enough to assist someone else that might be experiencing the same thing. So I hope that just bringing up this subject, coping with loss, will encourage you to do inner perspective of yourself, do an analysis, see where you are, and then find someone, whether it's 1, 2 persons, that you can be accountable to, and you can talk about it. You can pray about it. I know a lot of people aren't what you would call a born-again believer, having faith applied in Jesus Christ. They have other religions. Some people are Muslim. Their religion is Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism. Some people are followers of Hare Krishna, Sun Young Moon. Variations to religions that are out there. However, you still have to manage and maintain a level of coping with loss. So I hope this has been intriguing and encouraging enough to you as we process loss and deal with it. We don't own the rights to this music. It sounds great. We know that many of you are probably grooving to the sound. And so we just want to say thanks again and ask that you would like, subscribe, and share this content on your platform so that others will know that we have many interesting topics that we want to discuss and bring to you on a regular basis. I want to say this too. Ice House Racing is a company headed by the president and CEO, Ronald Gaines, who's making waves across the country here in the Southland of California, who's dynamic in character, and he's really launching a great program through this business. And I want you to find him on YouTube, social media platform. I believe he's on Facebook. Find Ice House Racing. The president and CEO is Ronald Gaines, and I believe that you're going to be very much encouraged by what he's doing. And tap in, like, subscribe, and share so that you too will be engaged with everything that he's doing. We're missing Charley Mack today in the studio, but he'll be here at a later time, and we look forward to chopping it up on a higher level. Thanks again. We ask that you would continue to look for us on these platforms. Best to you. Peace. We're out.